Hello guys, this is Bhushan
Hi, I am Yogi.
Hi, I'm Ann.
Hi, I'm Vimmy.
and today we are going to present on the Sustainable Management and Marketing Assessment 1, and we are going to critically analyze the wicked character of sustainable supply chain management, evidence from sustainable reports from the journal Business Strategy and Environment. The table of contents. These are the table of contents: introduction, sustainability and supply chain management, the relation, the important issues prevailing in sustainable supply chain management, what are the wicked problems, characteristics of wicked problems, conception of sustainability, and conclusion. Okay, the introduction. So, what is sustainability? Sustainability is a practice which helps in fulfilling the desired wants and needs of this generation without neglecting the wants of future generation. And what is sustainable management? It is efficient and ethical way of carrying out those practices related to the business and connected with people and environment. Okay, so the objective behind doing this research is to know the relation between the sustainability and supply chain management practices, and also to understand the complex issues which are prevailing in these sustainable supply chain managements. Sustainability and supply chain management, the relation. Okay, so to understand, first of all, the concept of sustainability in supply chain management is different at different levels, because say, like for instance, sustainable supply chain management, what we mean by that, we mean that to rightfully collaborate and achieve firms environmental, social and economic visions with its supply chain practices, but still it is very difficult to precisely define the definition of sustainable supply chain management. Reasons being, the concept of sustainability is evolving day by day as the generation goes ahead. So the important issues of sustainable supply chain management. Okay, so first of all, sustainability is only maintained if there is a balance between the people and the environment. And first of all, the world is based on certain values. Hence, the values connected to sustainability keep changing because the values of the world keep on changing on a regular basis. What is wicked problems? Now, Vimmy will take it forward.
Okay, I will tell you what is the wicked problems. Wicked problems are that problems which are related to the social and the culture, and these problems are very difficult to define and to explain. There is no any solution. These problems mostly occurred when the stakeholders have different views, their opinions, and their priorities. There are four basic reasons of wicked problems, that are incomplete or contradict knowledge. Second thing is different opinions from different people, and the third thing is there are some problems arise from the main problems, like there are many problems linked with other problems, like poverty is linked with the unemployment is linked with the education, and so on. So there are many examples of wicked problems, that are poverty, sustainability, equality, and health and wellness, etc. I will explain the poverty, how it is a wicked problem. I think poverty is a wicked problem because there is no any reason and no any issue from where it is occurred. When we go to solve the poverty problem, then there are some issues again arise. So it is a wicked problem. That's it.
Thank you, Vimmy. Now, now I'll explain the complexity of wicked problems. And we found three complexity problems in the wicked problem. First is social complexity. Second is consecutive complexity, and third one is temporal complexity. So first, social complexity. Social complexity is a problem, and the concept of social complexity is making effective communication very challenging in the business level. Like we are talking about the supply chain management. So every people are communicate with effectively, but people have different culture, opinion, and different opinions. So that's why they are making difficult to communicate in the business. So it require complexity requires the new understanding, methods, and tools to build a better conversation at the workplace. Social complexity is producer for the present issue in our way of life, like unique interests. People have different interests, different opinion, as I told you. So they are not agree with anyone. Maybe if we were working in a team, so maybe some people are agree with us, some are not. So they have different interests, different judgment, and they are coming from different cultures. Like we talking about in Australia, people are first they meet, they are shaking their hands, but in different developing countries, they didn't shaking their hands when they meet first time. So these are the different type of culture in the social complexity. So there are three main factors which differentiate social complexity. First, the main character in sustainability supply chain management as the internal and external stockholders, like shareholders. They give their opinion, and they do the meetings and all this arrangement, and they find outcome with a good result. Maybe sometime they didn't make their opinion with others. Collect judgment and estimation by the stockholders. Sharing the opinion and exchange the information are helpful to manage and control the social complexity in association. So this is done, and now I call Anne to continue the further slides.
Okay.
Okay.
One more complexity I want to point out here is cognitive complexity. As you can see from the slide, you can see the graph of complexity of change listing sustainability, and the percentage of firms pay attention to the cognitive complexity is higher in comparison with social complexity and the temporal complexity. And what is cognitive complexity? Complexity is a non-transparent cause and effects within the massive network. And there are three main parts of cognitive complexity. The first is the data and information. The data and information is the most common problem of for typical multinational corporation because of huge amount of data and knowledge. Take the example of Boeing commercial airplanes. They produce the Boeing 737, and however, it is assembled in USA. However, the wings is from Japan, and the eggs from Australia, and other parts from many different suppliers around the world. So it is difficult for us to control the data and the knowledge, and the next part is global dispersion. As you can see from the slides, manager needs to handle a longer part of supply chain as more global dispersed the company is, the more fragmented relationship between companies departments are. And the final part of cognitive complexity is tools to control and manage. You can try to use government rules, policy, and certificates to control the cognitive. I think it is hard to solve it, but at least it can reduce the cognitive complexity effects. One of the most important complexity I want to mention here is temporal complexity. And temporal complexity is caused by relentlessness of wicked problems and their consequences. And there are three main parts of temporal complexity. The first one is a long-term perspective and uncertainty, plans and targets, and final is recruiting outside help. And for the first part, I want to take a typical example for you. It is sustainable cotton. Switching to sustainable cotton is increasingly popular all over the world. And because sustainable cotton is grown in the rain-fed conditions and are not irrigated, and the reduce of pesticide is the reason to support for sustainable cotton. However, for long term, it can be harm to the farmer and can bring many negative consequences for them. Take for example, it can limit the proper yield of land, and furthermore, it can reduce the fertility of soil. And the the next part is plan and targets. I want to take a case study of German to point out this part. And Germany, in detail, they want to they target to reduce the carbon dioxide emission by using the sustainable energy. However, in the long term, it is difficult for manufacturers to meet their sales target, so they have to modify their target goals and strategy in the long-term perspective. Finally, is recruiting outside help. Um, yeah, as you know, it is very difficult for firm to guess and to forecast the results of sustainable supply chain management activities, because its effects is uncertainty. So establishment of long-term partnership alliance and stakeholder is a potential way to reduce the uncertainties. And next, Bhushan will take this for us.
Yeah. So the conception of sustainability. Every firms like the MNCs, they have their reporting and they report the sustainability concepts in them. Okay, so now they keep in mind two conceptions. One is positive and other one is negative. So what is positive conception? It is the good side of sustainability which is being showcased while reporting reporting by the firms and organizations. And second one is negative conception, which looks at the dangers that may arise in the sustainable operations. Okay, the conclusion. So the conclusion is what all did we learn from this basic research that we did is difficult. That first point is it is difficult to exactly define the term sustainability in the terms of sustainable supply chain management. The reason being, every supply chain practices takes the concept of sustainability differently at different levels. Okay, so there are two concepts of sustainability, positive and negative, as we already saw before. Then we also know that wicked problems help us in defining the term sustainable supply chain management, and reporting of the sustainable supply chain perspective helps to carry out the complex processes of the sustainability. Thank you.